Hey, good evening, everybody. This is another episode of Because I Feel Like It podcast. You got myself, Marcus, you got Artie, a couple of our other guys are going to be coming hopefully soon. But we wanted to talk about week two, what happened in week two, and then we also wanted to talk about week three. And then we're actually going to really cover a lot of the tush-push and some other narratives that are going on out there within the NFL and amongst NFL fans. So what's been going on, Artie?
Nothing exciting week. Some underwhelming games, some overwhelming games, some games that were unexpected. We can get right into it with. I think we just start with the Giants Cowboys. That was early window. That was probably the most entertaining game.
Yeah,
Not expected, unexpected.
right.
But what you see there?
I saw two defenses. We start off with the defenses. I saw two defenses that were below average. You know, if you want to say ass. Yes, they were horrible. Couldn't stop a nosebleed on either defense. You know what I'm saying? Um, I can give a little bit of credit to Kenny Clark, who was picked up by who was picked up in the Michael Parsons trade from uh from Green Bay. He did all right, but overall, it just seemed like there was two horrible defenses on the field, and then a last minute pick from Russ changed how everything looked at the end. You know, the both running games were horrible to me. Javante Williams did a little bit, but it was pretty much just and Dak and Russ throwing the ball everywhere with horrible cornerback play on each both sides. So what did you see?
Yeah, I saw Russell Wilson not looking like how Russell Wilson's supposed to look. But 90 something pass attempts overall for combined. Malik Neighbors put on a show.
Yeah,
He killed anybody that was on him, especially Elam. That guy,
yeah,
he got burnt by Dotson week 1, 2.
right.
They've got a problem there when they even get matched up with a guy like Dotson, who would be the Eagles' third receiver. But Neighbors here, number one receiver for the Giants, torched them over and over again. Like you said, not a huge running game. You get to overtime. Well, Brandon Aubrey
Yeah, my man he's
is
the
an
best
amazing
kicker.
kicker.
He's the
Yeah,
best kicker in the NFL right now. I can't even. It's not even close.
It's a 64-yarder to send it to overtime.
Yep.
Hits the kick in overtime to win the game.
Yep.
But honestly, yeah, I didn't see it coming. I thought it would be a low-scoring game, mostly because I didn't think the Giants would score that much after coming off of 6 points against Washington last week. But man, this Dallas defense. They traded Parsons because he couldn't stop the run, and they can't stop anything now. I don't know where they go from here. I don't think it's going to be if Dak has to throw 52 times for 361 just to get to overtime against the Giants. It's going to be a long season.
It's not. Yeah, and I think and I think on the Giants side, Russ kind of held off the Jackson Dart, you know, yells for a little bit, but he still, he gave up that pick at the end. That was horrible. That was a horrible throw. What you think, Marv?
Cowboys trash. Cowboys are trash. I'm not entertaining. I'm not entertaining. No talk. I don't want to hear nothing. Listen. You let a washed up Russ take you to the point where you needed a 64-yard field goal. Like if you watch Russ 2 weeks ago, and that was your first time watching football, Russell Wilson looked like the worst player in the NFL in week 1.
Yep.
Russ in week 2 against Dallas. He wasn't Seattle Russ. He wasn't Seattle Russ that led Seattle to the Super Bowl, but Russ actually performed in week 2. And honestly, if the refs, for whatever reason, didn't penalize the Giants 165 yards in penalties,
True.
the
That's true.
Win that game. Like
Yeah.
the Russ drove down and had the Giants on the verge of scoring a touchdown. And I'm looking at it like the left tackle was horrible for the Giants, right? The left tackle had 53 yards by himself in the first drive. He is trash. The Giants were at the 2-yard line and they called a personal foul on him after the play, which pushed the Giants back to the 17, and they had to settle for 3 instead of the touchdown.
Yeah.
I'm not giving the thing about me this year in sports and life in general, I'm done giving grace. I'm done giving grace. I'm done being peaceful. I'm going to tell you what I see, and I'm going to call it how I see it. The Cowboys are trash. The Giants are trash. The Giants were the better team this past Sunday. The refs, again, I don't know. I would like to find out how many times a team have played a team and gotten over 100 yards worth of penalties called back-to-back weeks in their favor.
Yeah.
Like, because it was a lot. Like, even if you look at the Cowboys, if you look at the Eagles and Cowboys game, Carter spit on my man, blah, 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 boom. But the Cowboys left tackle should have been ejected because he punched the defensive end in the head 5 plays later, and they didn't call not a single penalty. Like, the Cowboys have benefited. The Cowboys have had 275 yards of penalties called in their favor, and it's only week 2. The refs saved the Giants. Like, the refs saved the Cowboys. The Giants outplayed the Cowboys, and the Giants are horrible. If you got outplayed by the Giants, I don't want to hear no talk. You're 1-1. I'm not hearing no. I don't want to hear no talk. If you're a Cowboys fan and you talk to me any kind of way out of pocket, I'm disrespecting your whole family.
All right, so
that's
now,
where I'm at.
All right, so
I'm
now
disrespectful.
All right, so now obviously I'm not even waiting to hold off anymore. You know where I'm going next. We're going to Kansas City and Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? Like, and let me start with this here, man. Like, I am sick and tired. Before I even get to the Tush-Push, I am sick and tired of people being allergic to winning, right? And what I mean by that is fans in general, and then you have the media involved into it, right? This thing that winning has to look a certain way in order for it to be appeasing to you is stupid as fuck. It's stupid. You know what I'm saying? And
I blame it on the BCS.
The reason I say that is the only assignment that you have is to win the game. If there are things that you have to fix on the way, after you get done, you do that. But it doesn't matter how it looks. It doesn't matter if your quarterback throws for 105 yards. It doesn't matter if he throws for 405 yards. If he wins and the team wins, that's it. That's all that matters. It is too much of this back and forth where is there something wrong? And this is specifically with the Eagles. There's something wrong. People not remember last year where they didn't even score a touchdown in the first quarter or in the first half.
Till week 8.
Till week 8, thank you. But yet they start off slow with a brand new OC just like they had last year, and it's panic already. For what? For what? Understand, you're winning, you're getting better on the way, and you're still winning. What's your point? Would you rather lose? Would you rather throw for 500 yards and lose? It doesn't add up.
Listen, if Jalen,
a quote that I went by, a quote I seen the other day by Yannick Sinner, who's one of the top tennis players in the world. They asked him a question: would you rather win? Would you rather win ugly or lose beautifully? He said, "I don't like losing, so I'd rather win ugly."
Thank you.
Yeah. So
we all saw what at the end when Jalen
Chris Jones.
Kneeling, that is some sucker shit. I'm sorry, and I'll probably get in trouble for it, whatever. That's some BS. You was fine as when you was on the top of the hill, but when someone else climbed to the top of the hill and knocked your ass down, you don't like that. You got your ass beat. Just take your L. There's nothing wrong with that. You lost. And it's not like you lost to a garbage team. You lost to the people that knocked you off the hill. Nothing but respect should be given for that. What's your problem?
I look at it like this, right? And again, ain't no style points in the NFL.
At all.
It ain't no style points in the NFL. It ain't 20. It ain't. We not gonna, when the game's in on Sunday and Monday, we not gonna run around and ask the coaches what team looked the best and what team should be number one in the poll, right? We don't do that. It's NFL football.
Right.
It's NFL football. And your goal is to go 1-0 every week. Your goal is to go 1-0 every week, right?
Yes.
So
the assignment is to win.
The assignment is to win. They went out to Burrowhead because since they call it Burrowhead, since Burrow done knocked off Mahomes the last couple of times, they need to change it. How them Eagles tears taste right now, Kansas City fans? In the last 3 games, y'all 0-3. Shut up. And I'm gonna keep it like that because they asked me not to curse today because I had a curse-filled rant I wanted to go on, and I'm just gonna go on it a little later at this time. I probably schedule a show tomorrow just to go on my curse-filled rant. But It was all good. Like I remember 3 years ago. Like, if it wasn't for that trash-ass pass interference call, y'all really 0-4 in the last 4 games. To keep it funky, like, if Bradbury don't get called for that, where they let them play all game except for the last 3 minutes, and they call that on Bradbury, you're really 0-4. The Eagles have outplayed y'all the last 4 times y'all played them. Y'all had a whole lot of 0 sacks given up, Eagles tears. Y'all had all them crazy type celebrations, and it was big hype, and y'all was living the dream.
Yeah.
And now that y'all 0-3 and Eagles fans giving it back to y'all want to cry. The Tush-Push, every team can run a Tush-Push. Y'all didn't cry when the Bills ran a Tush-Push in the AFC Championship, and y'all stopped it.
Over and over.
Because the Bills ran it 3 or 4 times in the AFC Championship, and they stopped it all 3 times. There was no complaints about the Tush-Push when the Bills ran it and you stopped it. But now that the Eagles did it, and you were unsuccessful stopping it, there's an issue. The Eagles ran the Tush-Push. The Tush-Push amounted to 4 yards. The Eagles Tush-Pushes, they ran it 5 times and got 4 yards from it.
Right.
5 times it got 4 yards. Jason Kelsey dropped the pass in the end zone that led to an interception. Andy Reid went for it on his side of the field.
They had plenty of
and
mistakes.
Didn't convert.
To lose. Plenty.
And didn't convert. And Mr. Wire Woman allowed out of the kitchen missed the field goal.
They didn't bring that up at all.
Maybe he should be barefoot and pregnant and in the kitchen instead of his wife. Maybe his wife would have made that field goal.
Hey,
maybe your chick should be doing the kicking, Bucher. Maybe Harrison Bucher's wife should be doing the kicking for the Kansas City Chiefs. Maybe he should be in the kitchen. Maybe when she come home from practice, you should make her a sandwich, lame ass nigga. Kansas City fans, y'all can SMD and STFU. You're 0-2. Y'all got bigger fish to fry. And the way the Giants played last week, y'all don't got no threats on the outside. I seen the Giants play well against CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. So if they can play well against CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, I know they shouldn't have a problem locking up Hollywood Brown and whoever else y'all done got off the unemployment line this week.
Yeah, but you know what? You know who I'm happy about though? Makuba, man.
Makuba.
Oh my God. Hey, they got one. The Eagles got one. Him and Jahar.
Yeah, after Pat ran him over, I think Pat running him over woke up a beast.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's another thing. I seen that on Twitter, man. Like somebody said, Pat ran him over. I was like, yeah, but then he almost took one back to the house. So
Pat ran him over.
He got his back, man. So
and you see when it happened, I said 24 got to get his weight up. As soon as I posted that on Facebook, Makuba woke up. We got 2 because Jihad, bro.
Yeah, listen, he a real one. They got 2.
They got 2.
Howard definitely did his thing with Trav.
Listen, the linebacker, we might have to go to a 4-3 when N'Kobe come back because I don't want to keep N'Kobe off the field.
Nah, true. But
so
now the actual thing, we'll probably cover more things from this game later on in the well, not necessarily about the game, but how the treatment of two particular players I want to talk about, Jalen and AJ. But I will cover that later. The one thing I wanted to really discuss is this whining about the Tush-Push. Look, man, for the one, I need both of y'all to answer this question. Why are people? The thing is, why are the defenses that they're playing against not being held accountable for allowing the Eagles to get the 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, or the goal line? How did they get there?
You know what I said? I said it's 3 teams, and I'm petty, and y'all know me long enough to the point where y'all know I'm petty. I would when we play the Packers, Artie, I would line up and run it on 1st down. And then after we run it on 1st down, I'm going to line up and run it on 2nd down. And then after we get up 2nd down and it's 3rd and 1, 3rd and whatever, I'm going to line up and run it on 3rd down, the first drive. I'm going to tush-push the first 3 or 4 plays of every game we play against teams that cry about it. So guess what, Green Bay? I'm running the tush-push. I will run it every play until we score. I'm going to line up in tush-push. I'm going to line up in that formation, and I would line up Saquon as the quarterback and put Jalen as the guy behind him. And let him take the snap. And we just going to tush-push. Since y'all cried about it, like when people cry about things, and this is when you cry because you can't stop something, like they cried about the Wildcat and they stopped it. Like the NFL, the way the NFL works is the offense comes up with some new innovation, and for 3 or 4 years it works because the defenses can't figure out a way to catch up with it.
Right.
And then the defenses catch up with it, and then the offenses go back and figure something else out. Right. That's the way like everything in life works. Right.
Yep. You whine about it, you can't figure out how to stop it.
So the Eagles have literally figured out the tush-push. It's not like they're obnoxious with it. They only do it in 3rd and 4th down and short down situations. They don't even do it on 2nd and 1. Like on 2nd and 1, they could easily tush-push on. They could tush-push if they get 9 yards on 1st down. They could come out on 2nd down and tush-push and get 4 more downs, but they don't. They run their offense unless it's 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1 in a money situation. In a money situation, you go with your best play. That's like this. That's like, imagine the Bulls being like, oh, man, Mike is the NBA saying Mike is so good. In a tie game or a game when the Bulls are down by 1, Michael Jordan shouldn't be allowed to get the ball.
Look, man, like Jawan Taylor, back to the Chiefs. This man false starts every snap, and they never say anything about that. But they only didn't say anything. Neither Chiefs, no Chiefs fans, nobody, no other fans said anything about it because they were on the top of the hill. Now that they're not on the top of the hill, it's a problem. Look, stop. The thing is, people are allergic to winning. You know what I'm saying? And because their teams can't win, and then in the media's eyes, it's not, a pleasing play. Well, stop it. That's all you got to do.
Well, here goes the sequence that hurt everybody's feelings. Barkley runs it for -2 yards on the 3-yard line. Barkley then ran it for 4 yards on the 5-yard line, down to the 1.
Right. On
3rd and 1, they did the tush-push. Do you know what happened? The Chiefs stopped it. Although I thought they got in, I think the Eagles challenged it. It stood on the field as down at the 1. They ran it again on 4th down. They then got in. If the Chiefs stop it 2 times in a row, we're not having this conversation.
We're not having this conversation.
They did stop it once. So to say that it's impossible to stop when they just stopped it the play before the touchdown.
True statement.
And they've stopped it against against a bigger quarterback, by the way, Josh Allen. It's the thing too. It's not just like, yes, they mastered the formation of maybe how the offensive line gets down on the play. Jalen Hurts also does not run it right at Jones like Josh Allen does. He doesn't run it right at who's the dude from Tampa Bay, the big guy, Vita Vea.
Vita Vea.
He doesn't run it right at Kenny Clark. Where
Right.
some of these quarterbacks, they run it right at the biggest guy. They try to go over the lineman when you're not supposed to go and stand up straight over the lineman and get pushed in the back. It's not going to work. There's ways to do it. And I've seen this too. Minnesota Vikings fans, who, if they are college fans or not, the University of Minnesota runs the Tush-Push. When it works for the University of Minnesota, all the fans cheer. When the Vikings play the Eagles, they don't want that play allowed.
So how does that thinking? So they only want it when it benefits them.
When it benefits them.
That's the bottom line of what we trying to get to. It's people hate things until it's beneficial to them.
Until it's beneficial to them. That's the life. That's the life that's the world we live in, bro.
In general, right.
That's the world we live in. Oh, that is so horrible. That is so horrible. That is so horrible. Oh, he on our team? Oh, our team doing it? Our team good at it? Cool. I like to call it a contradiction. In real life, like, it's a conservative contradiction because the people who are against everything till it benefits them usually are very conservative people. So I like to say it's a conservative contradiction. I agree. I was in an argument earlier today, and I was looking at if you watch the game on Monday where veteran CD got into it, and Gardner Johnson didn't say anything in the media, but which I thought was I expected him to respond differently. But it's clear. Chauncey didn't say anything, and he just said, he's a competitor. I'm a competitor. Yada yada, and left it alone. Right.
Right.
So Baker Mayfield, in turn, put something up and says, "I stood 10 toes down." And Gardner Johnson said, "But do you have a ring, though?"
You couldn't say nothing.
So, a lot of the people were saying Baker would have a ring if he was the quarterback of the Eagles.
Yeah, look. Do we really?
And I said,
do we really
hold on.
Get into that part? Do we really want to get into that part, or are we going to save that for later?
No, it just pissed me off, right? So I said, what's crazy? If Baker replaced a Super Bowl winning Tom Brady. Baker came to a team that had just won a Super Bowl ring, right or wrong.
Yeah.
Like, if Baker replaced Tom Brady, who had led the Bucs to a Super Bowl, right?
Right.
So the response was, are you really comparing a guy who's only been in the league 8 years to the GOAT? I said, are you really comparing a guy that has only been in the league 5 years and has 2 Super Bowl appearances to a guy who was getting ready to be working at Whole Foods when he was in Cleveland, and then he managed to get some rejuvenation in LA and ended up in Tampa Bay? Like, no knock to Baker. Baker's been solid, but like, let's not change the narrative. Like, Baker, the Tampa Bay's loaded. Like, and Tampa Bay hasn't been a bad team since Baker's been there. Tampa Bay has actually beaten us the last 3 times we've played them. So let's not make excuses and say, oh, if Baker played for the Eagles, Baker has beaten the Eagles. So if Baker can beat the Eagles, why doesn't he have a Super Bowl?
True. All right. So
I'm done playing with y'all. I'm done playing with these folks. Y'all can catch up.
So what else around week? So what else in week 2 did you guys see?
Just to cap off that conversation about style points. Geno Smith threw 3 interceptions trying to get style points. I'll just say that.
Yeah,
just throwing the ball to throw the ball.
Right. I mean, it's winning. People, I just, it's annoying that people have to have wins look a certain way. It's not going to look the same way for every team. But at the end of the day, all that matters is that you won. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like to cap off week 2 as well, I think I'm sure everybody knows, but hopefully Joe Burrow can get right.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's the 3 months.
Yeah. Ugh. I said this, I think maybe Monday or Sunday evening. And basketball is around the corner. I said that Joe Burrow to me is the NFL version of Joel Embiid.
He is.
And the reason I say that is, man, my man is uber talented. You can see it. It shows on the field. Poised, the way he plays the position, and I'm not talking about the traditional way to play the position, just how he plays the game. He's that guy. But some of it is him, and also some of it is the blame on the Bengals for not giving him the proper protection with the offensive line. And, Cincinnati is notoriously cheap. Yeah. So, but overall, man, it's just like my man can't stay healthy. He just can't. You know what I mean? And especially in parts of the season where they need him the most. Like he's going to miss 3 months this year. What was it? 2 years ago, he missed the last 6 games of the year, wasn't it?
6 or 7 games of the year.
Right. His rookie year, he got hurt. It's just like, man, I just wish my man could get right. And I think this year they would have made the playoffs this year. No doubt they would have made it. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, it sucks, man. And then obviously you got JJ McCarthy going down in Minnesota, and that's going into week 3. I guess we're going to see our boy, man.
Carson Wentz.
Yeah, walking to him Wentz, man, and Lord have mercy.
Carson Wentz and Jordan Mason starting quarterback and running back for the Vikings this week.
Yeah, for the Vikings.
Didn't expect that one. Definitely didn't. That's gonna be nasty work.
And that's against the Bengals too. So no Joe Burrow in that game.
And then imagine
Wentz versus Browning.
Yeah, then imagine Marcus Mariota playing in Washington, man. Ugh. It's gonna be some ugly games out here this week. If you got things you need to do around the house, or you got things you need, errands you need to run during that segment of games, I think y'all might want to do those, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But the other thing, I know we've been picking on Justin Herbert a lot over the last couple of weeks. Look, man, that dude, he's been legit so far. And I think a lot of his legitimacy is tied to the guy who's coaching him, Jim Harbaugh. You can't take anything away from him, dude. The dude's playing, and Jim has him looking and playing the way a quarterback should play. What do y'all?
Now to take everything away from him, here's Marv.
Yep.
Go ahead, man.
I don't care what he does. I don't care what he does September through January to December. I don't care. That man can throw for 6,000 yards this year. He can throw for 6,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, and win the MVP this year. I don't care.
Yeah.
Because the 2 times it mattered the most in your NFL career, you laid a dud. Not only did you lay a dud, not only did you lay a dud, Artie, you're a little young. That man who everybody likes to hype up, right? It's only one worse game I've ever seen in my life than the game he played against Jacksonville.
Oh, when he gave up that 27
When he gave up a 27-point lead. Warren Moon and them gave up a lead to the Buffalo Bills in a wild card game to Frank Reich. It wasn't even Jim Kelly playing, but I was young when that happened. Like, so Artie, you might not have been alive, or you might have been a baby when that happened. But the Houston Oilers gave up like a 28 or 30-point lead to Frank Reich, who was playing for the injured Jim Kelly, because Jim Kelly got hurt like a week before in the wild card game in the playoffs, right?
I remember that. Yeah.
The Houston Oilers gave up a 28-point lead to Frank Reich, and the Bills came back and ended up winning that game and going to the Super Bowl. Justin Herbert, the prototype, the guy everybody has in the top 5 and who haven't accomplished anything in the NFL. Like, anything in the NFL. Pat Mahomes, the best quarterback in the league, has 3 Super Bowls and the MVP and the Super Bowl MVP, right? Josh Allen, he got his DEI MVP last year because Lamar Jackson was first team All-Pro, but Josh Allen was MVP. He got the DEI MVP. Lamar fatigued. We get it. But Josh Allen has an MVP and it's been All-Pro. Pat Mahomes has Super Bowls and been All-Pro. Lamar Jackson has 3 MVPs and been All-Pro. So if you argue with me, those are the best 3 quarterbacks in the league, I have no argument for you. But when you say Justin Herbert is the Tracy McGrady of the NFL. Since we comparing NFL players to NBA players, Justin Herbert is the Tracy McGrady of the NFL. No disrespect to T-Mac, because T-Mac was a dog. T-Mac was one of the most talented. T-Mac was as talented as Kobe. But who? What T-Mac got to show for all that talent?
Nothing.
Justin Herbert looks like a quarterback. He looks great in commercials. Pause. He's a beautiful, handsome young man who sells tickets. You put Justin Herbert on a billboard, chicks are going to stop and admire that billboard. Justin Herbert is an amazing talent. He came out of Oregon. He has the arm strength. He's 6'5", 235, rocket arm. Justin Herbert's a loser.
A lot of more.
4 interceptions. 4 interceptions. 4 interceptions to a Texas team that was trash. Like, the Texans weren't good. You didn't play the 2001 Ravens in the playoffs. You threw 4 interceptions against the Texans, bro. Like, you threw 4 interceptions against the Texans. I'm no longer giving passes. Justin Herbert, you don't get a pass. Trash. Trash.
You gotta give him some love. I'm not saying you do, but I'm not
27 points against the Texans. When Jacksonville ever been a juggernaut? Jacksonville Jaguars was a juggernaut? No, bro. You blew a 27-point lead to Trevor Lawrence and them. Doug Peterson and them. You didn't blow a 27-point lead to Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. You blew a 27-point lead to Trevor Lawrence and them. Trash.
Well, they for me, I as a team, I mean, obviously they just lost Khalil Mack too to dislocate the elbow.
Yeah.
But when I was watching them, I was thinking they better win that division.
Yeah, there's no reason for them not to win that division now. Yeah, there's no reason.
And they've got obviously 3 division games in a row. They got the Broncos this weekend, and if they can start off 3-0, beating and 3-0 in the division, that's a huge head start. Yeah. I guess we could just go to the preview too. I think the big game in the first period this weekend. I mean, I don't see anything that looks good besides Eagles Rams. Honestly, I mean,
yeah, it's nasty out there, man. It's nasty.
I'm willing to bet y'all the Chargers don't win the division.
Oof.
I think they got it.
I'm willing to bet you right now the Chargers don't win the division.
I'm gonna tell you why.
I bet you a 12-pack. I bet you a 12-pack of your beer. I bet you a 12-pack of beer the Chargers don't win the division.
I'm gonna tell you why though. I'm gonna tell you why because
they quarterback a jive turkey.
Nah.
Jive turkey.
Hey man, Travis Kelsey is gone. I think he's on the back end, dude. That's it. You know what I'm
He
saying?
is.
Right now, and if Worthy and my man Rice can't come back, it's they're done. You know what I'm
He
saying?
might not beat the Broncos this week though.
They could beat the Broncos. They could beat the Broncos. Yeah, they could beat them. You know what I'm saying?
Pat Surtain is a little hobbled. That makes it a little bit, a lot easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only other team that I think could actually compete with them in that division. Looking at it now, because I really don't like what the Chiefs are doing there.
Yeah, I just
I know.
and it's not even just the fact that Travis looks older. It's not about Rice. It's not about Worthy. Them running backs they got in the backfield are washed.
Andy
Wow.
looking like the Andy that got ran out of Philly right now. Like, bro,
He doesn't have an answer. If
he don't have no identity.
Chris Jones saying what he said at the end of the game.
Go ahead.
Chris Jones saying what he said at the end of the game about the yards. I think that's a huge sign too of like this team is checked out. You're worried about the stat sheets when this guy is running. This guy is kneeling the ball to end the game, so you can lose, and you're worried about the stat sheet at the moment.
You don't have 100 yards, bitch. I got a W.
I think that's a huge sign too that their defense. He's their defensive leader. I think they're checked out too.
If you are relying on Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, not Kareem Hunt in 2018 or 17, you're talking about Kareem Hunt in 2025. If you're relying on them to bring you a running game, you have a problem.
Yeah,
you have a problem. It's just
and
the way
this is, and watching the Chiefs, I watched both games, right? Andy's not scheming them. He's not running the screens. He's not doing nothing that we're used to seeing Andy do.
Because there's nothing else there.
There's no faith in anybody. No faith in anybody.
There's nothing to figure out. They're just not good.
Yeah. But, I mean, I remember, like, at least, like, I remember Andy still scoring 30 points when Todd Pinkston and James Thrash was on the outside. Like, and the best receiving threat was Shad Lewis. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Or Brian Westbrook. Like, Brian Westbrook was baby Marshall Faulk at one point because that's all we had that was a serious threat on offense.
And the Chiefs don't have nothing. They don't have nothing in the backfield. Nothing. It's slim pickings for real.
Andy done. Andy gonna retire this year. Andy retiring this year.
If they don't win this year, if they don't at least get I'm not going to sit there and say they won't make the playoffs right now. But if they don't at least get to the divisional round, he's going to retire. I can see it.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't look good. Their escape guy was always Kelsey as well.
Right.
And when you escape to him and he drops the ball that is a touchdown,
it was
that turns into an interception and basically that's the game right there. But they got the Giants on Sunday Night Football. If they start 0-3, losing to the Giants too, I mean,
I like the Giants.
That'll be. That I would wonder what they would do or if they would change anything if they lose it. I mean, what do you change to? I guess that's the biggest question. They don't really have depth. They don't have a good starting rotation either. So, but yeah, Sunday Night Football for that one. I don't know if you guys want to talk Eagles, Rams. I think that would probably be the game of the week. But
I think Eagles, Rams, and I think the Packers are right the week after them, right? I think so.
The Packers are with the Cowboys week 4.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So I'll probably be the week after that. But Eagles, Rams. If I had to pick between the Rams and the Packers, I think the Packers would be. No, really, the Rams right now. I think it's a little even, but the Rams will be their hardest, their hardest game to play. You know what I'm saying? Just because of what those guys, even though obviously Green Bay has Micah now, but Verse being a year older, Fist being a year older, you know what I'm saying? The one thing though, the Rams are missing. I think Witherspoon. I think he's out this week. I think he got hurt in the last week. So, I know McVay said some weird stuff about the Tush-Push again. I'm like, shut up, dude. You didn't they, that the Tush-Push wasn't your problem last year. The problem was Saquon ran for 255 in the first meeting, and then he ran for 208 the next time he played you. What are you worried about?
If Saquon played the Rams 17 games last year, he would have ran for 3,800 yards.
He'd have had a Herschel Walker 3,400, New Jersey Generals game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think McVay is just worried about the wrong things, bro. But to give them respect, Devontae Adams is over there. You know what I mean?
He got Puka.
Yeah, he got Puka. They still can run the ball, so they got that. But I think the Rams match up well with the Eagles. Other than that, other than Saquon just destroying them. You know what I'm saying? I fully expect the Eagles to win that game. I do. But I don't.
It's going to be one in the trenches.
Yeah, it's going to be one of the trenches. Absolutely. What you think, Artie?
I agree with you guys, but I think that it's going to be a big stat day for Jalen Hurts.
Yes, I think. Yeah, and that's another thing. That's going to lead me into another thing I wanted to talk about. But I think Patullo and Jalen and Nick get it together. I think Jalen has a big game. I think AJ has another big game, along with Devontae. I think they said Dallas Goedert was practicing today, so we'll see what his availability is for the game. But I think right as of right now, the Eagles are going to win that game, man.
Yeah, I think there's going to be 26 for 205 and 2 touchdowns in the playoffs. I think there's going to be, not that they will, but I think there's going to be a huge emphasis on trying to stop the run. And I just think I think that's going to show everybody that when you stop the run in Philadelphia, they got AJ Brown. They have and they have Barkley out of the backfield who can catch the ball as well. They have Smith. They have a lot of other people to go to. That's not as simple as we're going to stop Barkley and we're going to win the game. That hasn't worked out for some teams too. But so I think it'll be a big stat day for Jalen Hurts, in my opinion. I think it'll be a very close game, probably high scoring too. With getting Nelson in here, I want to go to, and this might be the last game we talk about because
Buffalo. Obviously, we're gonna let Nelson have this one. What you think is going to go on with the Buffalo and Miami game, man?
Oh, Buffalo tuna fish. I think Buffalo will definitely win this game. I know Tua and is at his end of his his path, because them concussions, man, they're taking effect. He's throwing the ball high. He's looking off. Now Tyreek Hill, I know he's having a hissy fit, when the ball's not thrown to him, correctly. But as far as Buffalo, they just beat the Jets convincingly. Even though you might have a little setback with Josh Allen with his nose being broken, his bridge of his nose. But other than that, I think it would be. Now, this is a trap game. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is a trap game. A lot of people underestimate Tuna, but they should be 4-0 after this game.
Look, man, I don't think the Bills have to worry about this game at all. Miami's done, dude. Whatever was there, whatever semblance of a season they had, that left 2 weeks ago. The Dolphins, man, it's just between Tua talking too much, between Tyreek, just not wanting to be there because he knows his quarterback isn't what he thinks he is anymore. It's just time to just disband the Dolphins as a organization. I'm just tired of seeing them. So that's that for that game. But I really, And I need y'all help on this one. There's something that really bothers me about these two particular players, and what I'm talking about is between Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, and how they're characterized amongst fans, and how they're characterized in the media. I want to start with Jalen first because and I hate even having to say it, especially with the climate we have in America right now. And I said it on Twitter this morning. There is an issue, right, in how it's really if Jalen was white and he accomplished what he did last year, fans and media will be treating him completely differently. Every time this man does something good, it's always, well, he did this wrong, right? He threw for 105 yards and they won. But why didn't he do it like this? Why didn't he do it like Josh Allen? Why didn't he do it like Justin Herbert? Right? They never do that to any other white quarterback. And I'm just telling you the way it is.
Can I touch on this? And this, I'm glad you brought this topic up because we living in a world right now where people have so much strong convictions and you'll die over it. But anyway, so even Chris Jones is yelling at Jalen Hurts about 100 yards. Okay. Right. That got nothing to do with the win because obviously Jalen Hurts said, chill out, bro. We won the game. And he walked away. This man is mild-mannered, has no problems off the field.
None.
He has a woman staff with no infidelity. There's no blemish right now when it comes to Jalen Hurts.
Right.
So when it comes to that, and you got the most hated fan base in the NFL.
Right now, currently, yeah.
Right. So you got these fans booed and threw snowballs at Santa Claus. Okay.
But that's like 87 years ago. None of us was alive back then.
But if I go right now to the link, they're going to ask me because I've been to 6 games. They're going to ask me, am I a Philadelphia Eagles fan? And they're going to try to convert you. Okay. They're notorious for that. But anyway, Jalen Hurts is a prime example and a prime model right now, and nobody likes it because he's winning. If he was white, he will be praised. He would be in the Hall of Fame. He would be up there with Brady. He'd be up there with Brett Favre. He'd be up there with all these Eli Manning, Peyton Manning. But right now, he is a perfect model citizen, and he's winning games. And he has a.
I'm great.
It has. Hold on, I'm gonna let you go, Swerve. I know you got it, bro. And he has a relationship with Brown that is very close knit. He was at his draft party, literally coaching him. Cheering him on. Even though they didn't even go to the same team at first, they end up being back together. That's just God making it happen. I'm done, Swerve. I know you got it, bro.
No, I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Let me ask y'all a question. What round was Jalen Hurts drafted in?
The second round.
Right. What round was Justin Herbert drafted in?
The first.
What round was Joe Burrow drafted in?
First.
What round was Tua drafted in?
For first.
So you have, and I'm gonna throw Lamar in to the Jalen side. The Ravens traded back up to draft Lamar because Lamar wasn't going to get drafted in the first round if the Ravens didn't draft Lamar. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So you have these guys that when you look at the draft, if you look at the draft and you follow the draft, and even like if you look at it, there's all these guys who get the praise and get the hype and they get the backstory and they're celebrated because Joe Burrow was such a talent and he threw 63 touchdowns. at LSU, and he's destined to be great, right? Pat Mahomes got a lot of the flack because Andy Reid traded up to get Pat Mahomes, and they said, "What the hell is Andy Reid doing trading up for this guy?" I remember that Andy Reid, the people who write the grades out for the draft, gave Andy Reid a D for trading up and drafting Pat Mahomes, right? And he took Pat Mahomes in the same draft that the Bears took Mitch Trubisky and the Browns took Deshaun Watson. And Andy Reid, they all got good grades, but Andy Reid got a D for taking Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes is the outlier. But you got these Joe Burrows and these Josh Allen. Josh Allen was drafted strictly because he looked like he could play quarterback, if we're being honest. Because nobody was checking for Wyoming games. I watch Wyoming games. I said he looks like in the 2 or 3 years he could be a really good quarterback. But you go have these you go out and you have good workouts. And Josh Allen worked out. I'm not no knock towards Josh Allen, but these guys are all first round draft picks, and they paint these successful stories, and they need these guys. The league needs these guys to be successful. Let's look at Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was a first round draft pick who was ass in New York. He went to Carolina, went to San Francisco, got his chance in Minnesota, balled out last year, shout out to Sam Darnold, and then got a big contract, and now they played this redemption story of the first round draft pick, Sam Darnold, is the prodigal son, right?
Right.
You got Jalen Hurts, who was, all you heard about is how he got benched in college for Tua.
And where Tua at right now? About to be
right, right, exactly. Jalen Hurts was a second round draft pick who got benched in college for Tua.
And remember Carson Wentz was the guy that when Jalen Hurts got drafted, Carson Wentz was supposed to be the guy. He was the MVP. Remember it, quote unquote.
No, right. So you have a second round pick who wasn't marketable because he was a second round pick who did his job. People forget Jalen Hurts left Alabama, went to Oklahoma, and came in second in the Heisman. Right? Came in second in the Heisman. What's going on? He came in second in the Heisman, got drafted to be Carson Wentz backup in Philadelphia, has always done everything, have exceeded expectations and done everything that was asked him and went above and beyond, right? Buddy was second in the MVP and led his team to a Super Bowl, and they lost because of Bradbury. Look at this. I'm going to give you all a correlation. We just seen Canelo get beat up by who I thought was the best pound-for-pound boxer the last 10 years in boxing, but nobody ever gave Bud credit because he wasn't marketable. He wasn't marketable. Bud was just a kid from Omaha, Nebraska. Don't nobody in Omaha box. Omaha ain't a hotbed of boxing. We can't market this little nappy-head Negro kid. And Bud did everything. Bud cleared out 135, went up to 140, dogged everybody at 140, went to 147 and beat the boogeyman. Like, because Spence was the boogeyman. Before the accident, Spence was the boogeyman. If the accident affected him somehow, he shouldn't have gotten the ring and fought Bud at that point. You understand? So we comparing athlete to athlete. Jalen Hurts and Bud Crawford. Jalen Hurts is the Bud Crawford of football. This kid is so good. Even though we try to knock him off the square, even though we try to deny him, he just keeps winning and he keeps having success until we have to accept it. And that's what Jalen's going to have to do. Jalen's going to have to, I don't care if Jalen Hurts can throw for 38 yards. As long as he makes the right decisions on the field, I'm okay with it. But demolish Crawford. I told y'all that was easy money. Because I watched Bud when he started boxing, and I knew Bud and Jalen, I'm going to tell you like this. They don't ask for something that they're not ready for. Jalen's not going to put himself in a situation where he doesn't feel he's going to be successful. Bud is not going to put himself in a situation that he feels he's not going to be successful.
Hey,
so
Swerve,
the goal is to win a Super Bowl.
Hey, Swerve. Jalen Hurts also doesn't throw interceptions.
No, that's what I'm saying. The goal is to win a Super Bowl. So look, Jalen Hurts went out to a Super Bowl, lost it. Oh, no quarterback who's ever lost the Super Bowl has made it back in 20 years. Okay, he went out, lost the Super Bowl, came back and won. Now the goalpost is moved because he only threw. Do what they say about Bud. Oh, Bud, you came up to 168. Remember, all before Saturday, we was hearing how he was too small, how he couldn't take Canelo's punch, how it was going to be a wash and Canelo was going to knock him out, right? Now Bud done went to 168 and beat the King at 168. Because mind you, Canelo lost at 168. He lost at 175, and he lost to Floyd at 154. But Canelo never been beat at 168, right?
Look, Canelo had 23 more wins than Crawford.
No. So now they're talking about.
I think it's a good comparison, even if you take it to the extent of how these two were viewed pre-winning and post-winning. Because
that's where I'm going. That's exactly where I'm going, Marty. Go ahead. I want you to say what you're saying.
That first Super Bowl against the Chiefs, and even after college, like you said, he's second in Heisman voting in Oklahoma. He got replaced by Tua at Alabama because he got injured in the bowl game. And he had this redemption. I faced adversity and beat it story. And he goes into the NFL. He was cheered on at first. And me and Marcus talked about this before the show. This happens to people once they win. After they lost the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, the first one, obviously the only one they lost against the Chiefs, there was a moral victory for Jalen Hurts throwing he threw like almost 400 yards.
Right.
Yeah.
And they said he outplayed Patrick Mahomes. He did everything right to win. And there was a moral victory for Jalen Hurts. Now, when he actually wins, there's no victory in it. And according to maybe people in the media, there's no victory in it, and there's no moral victory in it. It's the same thing like you're saying with Bud. Before the championships come and the stardom came in 2017 when he beat Julius and Dongo for the undisputed 140 championship, people were like, okay, he came from being shot, didn't make the U.S. Olympic team, and he's faced the adversity. He's made it here. He beat it. He's too small for 147. He knocked everybody out at 147. And now we don't think he should go up to 154. He's a little too low. He might be too small. He beats Madrimov. Oh, it wasn't a great performance. He probably shouldn't go to 168. Now, once he becomes undisputed twice, once he does that run for the second time, there's no more moral victory. There's no more credit for the victory until, hey, the only way we'll give you credit, you
go fight a heavyweight.
You go up 21 pounds and beat the dude that we got top 5 pound for pound for the last 15 years. And you beat him convincingly. And there's still people saying, you know what? What about Benavidez?
Yeah, you beat the guy who's been on the top of the list the last year. And then they're like, oh, okay, now that everybody who said he was too small and was going to get knocked out, now how about you fight the guy who's been the guy that the guy avoided for the last 4 years?
Yep.
Yeah, it's always something.
People ain't going to be happy. I mean, they might as well put Bud in there with Tyson Fury. Bud gonna have to fight Tyson Fury to get some respect.
And the difference between the NFL and boxing is there's no higher level than the NFL. Jalen Hurts does this in the NFL. He's won the Super Bowl. He's done it as being the Super Bowl MVP. He would have been the Super Bowl MVP had they won the first Super Bowl as well as he played. Yeah. There's no higher level than this. Maybe boxing, you could say, oh, go up another way. In the NFL, there's no higher level, and he's done it on this stage.
He got to beat Joe Montana, Terry Bradshaw. He got to beat Joe Montana. He got to beat Joe Montana and Terry Bradshaw in a playoff run to get some type of respect. That's what it's going to take. And Troy Aikman, he got to beat guys who never lost in the so Jalen Hurts literally has to beat Joe Montana, Terry Bradshaw, and Troy Aikman to get to the Super Bowl, and then he got to beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Listen,
for him to get some credit.
What they don't want is Philadelphia to take over where Kansas City left off.
I don't even think it's that.
Well, no, think about it. If they win 3 in a row,
it's not that.
Well, if they win with 3 in a row, who's going to get the most attention?
I'm gonna
The
tell you
quarterback.
what it is,
Because,
man.
no, look, because Patty Mahomes got all the attention for winning these Super Bowls, right? If they win 3 in a row, then Jalen Hurts will have to get the same attention.
No, it's never going to be enough. That's the point. And I'm trying to listen what I'm telling you. This is a black. It's a black man, black woman issue. And I'm gonna explain this. If I don't know how heavy y'all was on Twitter before, or just been in social media, right? Nothing that Jalen can do is going to be enough because it's not traditional. And what I mean by that, it's not white enough and it's not perfect. That's what I mean. And what I'm saying by that is, and I'm not saying this because I have white friends as well. You know what I'm saying? That I serve with in the military and at work and in my regular life. It's just a real conversation. Like, understand where we're at. This man threw for 375 and ran for 75, and it wasn't enough, even though he lost, but it wasn't enough in some people's eyes. He comes back, has a down year pretty much, comes back and wins the Super Bowl, right? Did everything right. Oh, it was the defense. Oh, it was this.
Saquon. He couldn't have made the Super Bowl without Saquon.
Hold on. He had Saquon. Well, Saquon only had 50 yards in the Super Bowl. He threw for 223 and threw for 3 touchdowns, right? So then during this whole time on Twitter, on Instagram, on other places, right? Even amongst some Eagles fans, you would hear, I don't like how he carries himself. From grown men. I'm not talking about the women. You might have seen occasionally 1 or 2 women say something.
He got that 90s swag.
Right, but that's different, right? You would have some men, he acts aloof. He acts like he's better than everybody else. He because he carries himself a certain way. Grown men. I'm talking about grown men saying this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure some of these men have women. You know what I'm saying? So imagine you saying in front of your lady, I don't like this man is confident. I don't like this man has style. I don't like that this man has class. Oh, and I don't like this black man that does his job the right way. You know how crazy that sounds as a black man? Another black man.
Obnoxious.
It sounds too perfect.
Right. It sounds curated. No, why can't he just be a nice, young, grown black man?
Well, on the flip side, and he's younger, and I wouldn't say he's the most model citizen ever, but Anthony Edwards is another person that's heavily criticized. And like I said, I won't say he's like a model citizen, maybe what Jalen Hurts is, but he might be on the side of there's no way. And I say this as obviously not black, but there's no way you can win this in terms of the media, I think, because
it's always
if you do the stuff Anthony Edwards does, and send me the video, that's going to be the top story. And if you tell the media, hey, I don't care, we just won, like Jalen Hurts does, that's the top story.
Listen, here's
damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, damn right. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. But look, here's another thing about Jalen Hurts. He has a whole Greek community behind him. He's a Q. Okay. People hate on Stephen A. Smith. People hate on Shaq. Okay. But Shaq messed up, right? He's not longer with his wife. He has a bunch of kids, right? Stephen A. Smith hasn't been in any trouble. This man has got a new contract, over $100 million, right? See, but to talk about Shannon Sharp, right? Another black man messing up, doing the wrong thing with the wrong people, right? So they're waiting for us to mess up. And they can't stand the fact that he is solid all the way around. He has a whole woman staff. You know how hard it is to have all women around you? Not just handling finances. He's been handling social media, his finances, his publishing. The man right now has no blemish. Now, check this out.
Hold on. Before you say that, if there's anybody out there We are looking for a lady to join the pod. If anybody wants to join, that's cool. But continue. Go ahead.
Now that the fact that he's winning Super Bowls, because remember the locker room was split between Nick Foles and Jalen Hurts. Now that he won the locker room over, right? Everybody's on the same page. Remember Coach Sirianni? Remember he was disliked for his press conference. Remember his whole speech was a little jumbled. They was like, what is he talking about? Now he's winning. He went to the Super Bowl, lost. Now he won a Super Bowl. So everything is lined up. And then you got an owner that's making the right calls. Not looking like Jerry Jones. He's keeping everybody together and getting people for cheap.
But the thing is, like, when you tie that in, right, and we tie that into his running mate, AJ Brown, like, this stuff is getting out of hand. Like, you got Colin Cowherd and Nick Wright talking about we don't know how much longer that AJ is going to be there in Philadelphia. And guess what? A woman reporter, Diana Rossini, went and got the information, and indeed, AJ not going nowhere.
Yeah, and what if this though? Like, we know, and I'm not even going to drop, but I'm not gonna, bro. If you watching this, what if AJ ain't 100% healthy right now? Like, you understand? I'm not going to talk about that.
I thought that, because he had a hamstring. But he had a hamstring before the season started.
So what if AJ Brown ain't even healthy right now? What if AJ Brown is out there for the sole purpose of being a decoy right now?
They've been doing this for 2 years, though. They've been doing this since they traded for him.
It's a lot of stuff that people don't know what's going on.
Because Dawson's get a lot of passes.
There's a lot of stuff. AJ, and I'm not saying he is, and I'm not saying he isn't. AJ might be like 70%, 65, 70% right now, and he's just out there because him being out there is a threat itself.
Yeah, I'm just like, look, man, like, it's crazy to see how these two successful young black men are portrayed. They're portrayed. They try to pit them together, right? Locally, let's start locally on WIP. You know what I'm saying? In Philly, 94 WIP.
I hate everything local.
Yeah, I can't stand them either. But they tried to pit them against each other the first 2 years. That didn't work, right? So when that didn't work, with Marcus Hayes and all of them, they tried to do it nationally. It didn't work. So they tried that for 2 years. It didn't work. Then they win the Super Bowl. Guess what they do coming out of the Super Bowl? We don't think AJ Brown is going to be here next year. Didn't he just get paid twice?
Didn't he just get a new contract? He's going to go to New England because Mike Vrabel's familiar with AJ Brown and they need a receiver. Yeah, bro, you think AJ Brown spazzing out playing with Jalen Hurts? Imagine when he Dre Deuce playing with Drake May.
Well, I think Nelson said it perfectly. As a person with no blemish, you have to create the blemish, and I think that's what the story. I mean,
creating drama.
I hate to relate it back to this person because, but Nelson did bring it up and taking the spotlight off of the Chiefs. Is that Patrick Mahomes is mixed?
Yeah. And
every single time something happens wrong with Patrick Mahomes, how come it's always a video of his dad?
Yeah.
It's always a video of his dad. Do we even know what his mom looks like? There's always a video of his dad.
Point. Never seen her.
I have.
He was smoking a cigar one time. His dad, after I think they won,
right?
And that was a pretty viral story.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen his mom. I'm sure I have on the TV one day. They probably put Mahomes' family. Look, it's always his dad.
And even his dad was he was pulled over by the cops. He said, look, I don't want this to get out. My son is, got a Super Bowl game to play. I don't want this to get out. Can we please just kind of, keep this on the hush? Remember that? Yep. And his dad know the situation, the severity of, him being the face of the NFL. But you're right. It's odd how they keep showing his dad when something goes wrong. Even when his brother was going through that whole debacle in the press box.
His brother's a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's true.
But the blame wasn't the brother's action. It was
on
the
Pat.
dad.
Yeah, it was Dad. Yeah,
It was, but Dad doesn't get credit for Patrick being there.
right.
Now, how about that one?
The biggest thing, man, is to close this out, and I'm pretty sure we'll have other conversations about this later on and some other shows. But the biggest thing is the media now is conditioned to create drama amongst black men. And then because you have some of these trash shows on TV or these accounts on Twitter or people in the media, these people, because they don't learn how to think for themselves, they eat all of this stuff up and then they go parrot the same thing they hear, right? Because they don't think to read the whole article. They don't think to watch the whole show. You know what I'm saying? And then the performative BS of it all just brings it back to the main point is they cannot stand that there are two black men that are successful separately and together. So
Right.
with that, I wanted to end on that, man. Brothers, this has been a great show. We're not going to do the whole separate thing where people can find us. Look, everyone can find us at three separate places. You can find us at Because I Feel Like It podcast on Twitter. You follow us on our Twitter account. You can do the same on Instagram. You could do the same thing on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? We will always be around. Some of us, each of us would take turns running the Twitter account. So just stay tuned, everybody. We got a lot more shows going on. And like I said, a little earlier on, hey, we are looking for a lady to come on the pod. So if anybody wants to come on the pod, that's cool too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, man. Yeah, but it's sad that we even had to have this conversation at the end, but it is what it is, With that being said, I'm out. Artie, man, you have a good night. Swerve, you have a good night. Nelson, we get back up again, man. We holler at y'all, and everybody else have a good night. We out.
Peace.